The other day, I went out and saw Gareth Reynolds. Went to a show. The podcaster who does the Dollop. He's a stand-up comedian. A couple of pals of mine went out and saw him live. It was great. We went to Detroit, got to see the old haunt again. That was awesome. We passed a bunch of homeless people when we were walking back. First one, I only had 20s on me. First one, I gave $20 to because it's all I had. I'm not that generous. If I had less, I would have given him less, but I didn't. That's what I had, $20 bills. Another guy came up to us down the block, and I didn't give him any money. Still had money on me, just didn't give him any. I lied to him. I said I didn't have any money at all. And then after I committed, I felt like I had to be firm, But it was made me feel bad. That second guy and everyone thereafter. It made me feel bad because I don't have a lot of money. But maybe I could have spared that and the whatever was in my pocket. I don't know, $80 maybe. And what bums me out about it is that the comfort it will bring me, however many months saving that money contributes to buying, or really it's a couple of days of paying my bills, but however much time that contributes to me getting to do this instead of having to go get a job at some place, that's going to be less comfort than it would have bought them on that night. It was a cold night. It was pretty cold. What would it have bought them? A sandwich? Hot cup of coffee, maybe? Some drugs? Something to get through the night. There are people who are of the belief that you should not give these people any money at all. I don't think it's necessarily immoral. I could see their reasoning even if I don't agree with it. I have never seen anyone, right or left or anywhere in between, I've never seen anyone suggest it in real life, suggest that it's okay that there's people that have to sleep in the street. Never heard of anyone approving of that as one of the failures of capitalism. So whatever other fights we're having right now, let us address homelessness. We have the resources to take care of it. We've got the space. We've got the materials. We've got the finances. We have the extra food. The surplus exists that no one should have to do this. You want to, if you're willing to work together as a nation, United States, then we can get the cost down to a couple of bucks for all of us. And nobody, no kid, no old lady, nobody has to go to sleep wearing 2 coats wedged up behind a dumpster and a brick wall in an alley. Nobody has to endure that for the cost of literally a couple of dollars from all of us. I'm happy to pay that. I'm apparently not happy to give all my money, but I'm happy to give some of it. Yeah. Aren't you? I bet you are. I bet if you looked somebody in the eye that was afraid they might not wake up, that their body might not be able to handle that night, I bet if you looked them in the eye, you'd be all right helping them out. If we can at least agree that no human being should have to sleep in the street, that a basic right of every American, a simple expectation for a civilized society, should be a roof over your head, a bed, humble both of them, but existent, a basic foundation from which you can try to achieve the American dream. If we can agree on that, then it's just a matter of figuring out how we can do it, how we prefer to do it. There's a couple of options already on the table. Pick which one you like. I mean, it really only, in fact, it really does only come down to two. Either the government builds the houses entirely and assigns them and monitors their food cards, et cetera, et cetera. We already have that with the SNAP system. But that's the more big government way of doing it. That's the more heavily monitored way of doing it. The more capitalist way of doing it would be to have a universal basic income, believe it or not, simply because it puts more power into people's hands individually and lets them make their own decision with what to do with the money. Now, if you are already happily in the middle class, good news. This will benefit you most of all. Everybody in the country suddenly can rely upon having $1,000 extra bucks a month. Who's more likely to turn up in your store, small business owner? Who's more likely to turn up in your store to spend it? Who's going to walk into a used Honda dealership? Who's going to walk into a candy shop? Is it going to be a billionaire? How many times have billionaires come into your mid-sized speedboat shop versus somebody who's never been able to buy a car before? Somebody who suddenly has some spending money. It's going to benefit the middle class, and the middle class is what we need to be focusing on building. Getting people there, making it so that you're not trying to find a job while you smell like the alley you slept in, been wearing the same clothes for weeks on end, not surprised that no one will hire you. We know what we're doing right now doesn't work. How many movies have you seen that feature a character who's a homeless person, and you see them put the newspaper over themselves because that's what they have instead of a blanket? It's a trope. It's been in so many movies. Are we not civilized? Why do we allow this? We shouldn't. So pick what you want to do about it. Build housing for the poor, assign it in whatever way you think fair, or a UBI, universal basic income. One or the other, but get it done. Or if you got a better idea, pitch it. But let's pick one and push for it, because I think we know that allowing someone to sleep in the street is not acceptable, is not what a polite society does. So let's be a polite society. Let's be decent human beings. Let's take care of this. There's a poll on the community tab of the channel page right now. Weigh in. Let me know how you would like to deal with this. Either universal basic income or community housing, or a third option that you pitch in the comments. Let me know which you'd prefer, and I will look into the most reasonable way we can make it happen.